It's early in the morning and I just lit the fire. It's autumn. And I just felt, yeah, it'd be really wonderful to make a video. So let's go. It's about healing old pain. And I was just looking at some different things on YouTube yesterday. There was a man telling about a story about a near-death experience he'd had. And it was, of course, very fascinating. And afterwards, it's really wonderful to see other human beings just expressing themselves and telling about their lives, and just see how they have a teaching, they have something to inspire me with, but there's also an underlying teaching that the person is not conscious of. And that's what I felt with different things I've been seeing, especially on the internet, because it just is very strong, really, because in a way you get people very close up, and you can sense their energy, although it's through a computer. So I just felt there's a similarity in what I was experiencing, and I was sort of trying to work out what is it. And what it is that we're still, as humans, very caught up in our story. This is what happened to me, and this is where I was born, and this is what he said and she did, and then, and you hear these talks that go on and on and on and on about all this drama, really. And often the people's message is actually the message of oneness, that deep within we're all one, and we're all beautiful, and we're all loved, and we're here in a learning process. It's a process of actually discovering who we are and releasing old pain. Actually, it's unraveling the knots of the past and undressing the false person we used to be. But the thing is that the energy they're sending off is not an energy of oneness, but of separation, because they're so caught up in their story and their drama. And it's not to criticize these people, but it's just to say how I sense where we still are at as humans, and that there is a responsibility for all of us, and that is to actually unravel that story, undress that story, and really become our oneness, become the true being who is in here. And no one can do this for us, and we have to do it. There's just that's how I see it anyway. There's no way around this. The pains of the past they have to resurface. We have to allow them to resurface and be in a way experienced again or acknowledged. So it's like some little thing we have hiding in our home, and one day it's going to have to come up so that we can throw it out. It won't just disappear on its own. Sometimes things get eaten by moths and mice or something, but usually we have to re-find it and to release it. And just to go back to these people, and we all have it. I mean, I have it myself. Look at me. This is my story. Drama, drama, drama. This is what he did and she said. And when it's very strong, it's really there's an emotion. It's not our true self. who's rambling on about ourselves. It's actually a pain. It's a part of our pain body, our pain being, our false self, that's going on about ourselves. And why do we do this? We do this because we feel unloved. Because we feel we have not been given enough attention, so we use our story to get the attention from others, so that we feel satisfied for a little while. And that is pain. That does not come from our soul, our oneness being. So as we go on this journey, this will pop up. Understanding that, the reason why I keep going on about myself and I have so much need for attention is that I actually feel deeply unloved. And why do I feel deeply unloved? Because I'm holding on to a feeling of being unloved and I want to release it. So that was just a little example of pain that you can't see it, but as you allow these things, allow these old emotions to come up, these old parts of our false self, they will come up. And so another thing I want to say, which I've said before, that this is not something we just do for ourselves, that we get to feel better ourselves, and we get to not just feel better, we get to change completely our lives, because our life becomes completely, totally and utterly beautiful, and we get to shine our light limitlessly. So we're given the kingdom of God in all our life, but we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for the whole. We have to do this for the earth, for the universe. It's a responsibility we have, each and every one of us. And I just think it's very encouraging when we think it's really hard work, which it is. It's really hard work to remember that we're not just benefiting ourselves, we're benefiting the whole, because the pain we're holding on to is universal pain. It's not just our own. The feeling of not being loved is completely universal in humanity, not for the animals, but probably to some degree for the animals, but it's a part of the human condition which is very, very deep and has really caused us all this misery, that we've been holding on to the belief that we're not loved, the lie. So it is universal. So every time we release an old pain, we're lifting the vibration of of all of creation. Everything, every tiny little microbe feels this. So it's a grand, I mean, it is the gift we can bring apart from the light that we shine. But really, when we release these things, we clean it all up. What happens is we get to shine the light that we came to shine. All the gifts we came on to bring on these beautiful golden trays. This gift will shine forth more and more. And that's really the whole idea of life. Come and shine your light. And you can only shine it when the obstacles are removed. The light is there, it's shining. And the only reason why it can't shine out so brightly is because we're holding on to these different layers, different blockages of pain. And the other one I wanted to say is ask for help. Ask for help. And decide you want to do this. And that's where faith is just, I mean, I just believe you can't do this without God. Or the one light, the one love, the love from which we all come and we all return. I can't see how you can do it without, but maybe some can. And all the beings around us, I mean, this physical world is just a tiny, 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 tiny speck of all of life, all of creation. Most of what is here you can't see, hear, smell, taste. But it's there, and it's all benevolent. There's also dark powers, but basically, it's all love. And actually, humbling ourselves to ask for help is so powerful. Go down on your knees within yourself and say, please help me. And you will be helped, and the whole process will be accelerated 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 times, because you're asking for help. And you're also, just the fact that you're acknowledging, you're accepting that you are holding on to some pain, and it's yours. It's not the neighbor's, your partner's, someone else's fault, thingo. It's yours. And it's yours, your job, to release it. That step is, searching for God and allowing God to connect with you. And saying, as it says in the Bible, the one who was praying, the two people who were praying, the one who was praying, oh, thank you, God, that you've given me all these gifts and I'm so great and I'm just doing everything so well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He is not blessed to any degree as the one who says, dear God, I'm such a sinner. Please help me. And here we're not talking about, oh, I'm such a bad person. That's not the way to see this. It's just to say, I'm holding on to this pain and I so wish to release it. Help me, help me, help me. And when we come into that energy of humility, and which is really the way of the Master, to see that I'm definitely, deep within I'm perfect, but I'm holding on to the human condition and I must release it and I need help. I can't do this alone. When we come into this state of being, we are the Master. This is so powerful. So instead of saying, oh, I'm the teacher, stay in the feeling and the vibe of I'm the student. Please teach me more. Please help me unravel the knots of the past. Please let me see how I'm actually in deep pain. And also it's the way of joy, because it's so, it's not the miserable path where, it's really the path of the warrior, because you've got your sword of light, of courage, of power, and you know you can do this, and you know you have to do it, so you're taking on the responsibility. It's very powerful. It is the most powerful. And you will be helped to cut away with your sword, cut away what is not you, which is the old lie that you've just been hanging on to. And so here we come to the last bit, which is more about relationships, but it's also it's a parasitic way of being, which many people still have, and really you can say that in a way the old emotions, these old lies are actually like parasites that suck them. We've allowed them to suck the energy out of us, suck the light out of us. So we have been in a way parasitic in our energy. Now there's some people still on earth who are in such deep pain, who latch onto others. And as we who consciously decide to walk the path of the light, and who you can call us light workers, doesn't matter, we're all light workers really, we all come to bring the light. But we who are conscious of it, and who have come far on our journey, we shine brighter, and it's just the way of the way of just the laws of this path. We get to shine brighter, and for the people who are not in the warrior, who have not picked up their sword and realized how powerful they are, and they can do it, and that they have to do it, who actually who've not discovered the joy of responsibility, they will latch onto you like a parasite. And I can just see it from my own life. It's really exhausting, because you can see these people are in deep pain, but they just have not come to the point where they can see, okay, this is really my stuff. I've got stuff from my past that's actually really hindering my way, and I really actually don't feel deep inner joy. So I'm going to latch onto someone who has the joy, because that's the easy one, and I can feel the joy vibe. I can feel this lightness and this joy of life, and that way I will be fulfilled. But it just doesn't work. It will not work for anyone anymore. It has to stop. And for the ones who are really moving, who really deeply wish to move forward, they will get when people start pushing them away, they'll get the message that I better they don't want to be with me. I wonder why. And it's because they have to go to themselves and stop latching onto others, because there's some work they have to do with themselves and with God. God's waiting there. And so for some of us, we have to be very firm with these people, and it's really difficult, because you feel you're being so mean, but really you're really helping them. So I just want to say this, that they're still there, these people, and they're going to have to get it. There's just no way. It might not happen till in 1,000 years, till 3 lifetimes away. But one day they're going to have to go through the work of cleaning up their heart. Their heart is blocked with all this old stuff, all this old hurt. And nobody in this universe, the most beautiful angel, can just take it away from them. They have to work through it themselves. We all have to. I just had something, I lost it. Oh, that's right. It's the one about the loneliness. Just get this file going a bit better. I just made this video the other day about the loneliness, and it is really painful when people don't want to be with you, and people you really deeply love and feel connected with. It is so painful. But as I feel it, it really is a very basic message to us. And it's a very important message, because it's really God calling us to union with Him. And it's God who's calling us not only to union with Him, but to clean up our lives. There's junk, there's stuff we're holding on to that we take with us when we're with these people, and they can't stand it anymore. They've got their own stuff. So the quicker we get this, that I'm alone right now, it feels very uncomfortable, because I feel nobody loves me, and that's a complete lie. But when we get past this and say, okay, right, the reason why I'm alone is because there's something I have to clean up. I've got a very dirty house. It's not because I'm a bad person, it's because I've been just running away from it for too long. And God and the angels and all of life is saying, and our soul is saying, okay, right, now is now. We have to get to work. So So really, if we can get to this, the loneliness disappears completely, and we can feel, I can just say for myself that while we're here on earth, that's where the real possibility of cleaning up is. And once you've cleaned these things up, they'll never return. It's forever. If we don't clean it up in this lifetime and we die, we're going to take this with us and we're going to get it again. We're just going to get it again and again and again. Wherever we are, we'll be carrying on to these very heavy, very destructive burdens. So now is the time to release these burdens, lay them aside, and let them dissolve. As Louise Hay said, let them go into the nothingness from whence they came. But we have to, they must surface. So what we can do is simply say, okay, here I am in all my aloneness. Thank you, God, that now I have the opportunity to really clean up myself and my life. Where do I feel pain? Show me. Where do I feel a tension? I mean, in every single cell of our bodies, these old pains are lodged. Every single cell knows them. And every single pain has a tension, has a vibration in our body. So it's really just basically like a little child saying, I'm holding on to something, please show me. Please show me, where am I hurting? And we will be shown, we will be helped. An old memory, somebody who just shouted at us, somebody we saw in the street who looked really sad, that's the message. You're very, very sad. You see a person, gosh, she looks sad, that woman. She was there to show you how sad you are. And just allow it to come, and it will come. And you can use a counselor. There's so many different ways we can do this. But the big one is to say, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. Come to me, old pain. I'm ready to release you. I'm ready to feel you. I don't fear. So this is a big one to take with us on every step. Do not fear. Do not fear anything. Because when these old pains surface, it can feel very, very, very traumatic, because they're very painful. As I said once, that's another way to start detoxing your body, help your body detox. Eat very simple food, drink lots of water, rest a lot, and keep asking for these things to surface, and they will surface. And once I started this journey of detoxing my body, this feeling of being unloved as a child, or not looked after well enough, which was a feeling I was holding on to. It made me, the sadness in me made me cry, I think, for 3 hours, and I really, really physically felt I was dying of sadness. The sadness was so enormous, and the crying was just like something I've never ever experienced in my life. And it went on for, I think, 3 hours. I just could not stop. And of course, when it was released, I was a different person. There was a big blockage that I'd let go of. So when we release all these things, it's not that we will never feel unloved, because it will. These feelings come because it's all a part of humanity, but they're not deeply lodged old emotions. They will not be that anymore. They will be fresh and just come like little breezes, and we'll just remember, oh, that was the feeling. That's how it feels when you're not really loved. But it's just, yeah, like a little soft wind. It's not old, it's fresh. So, yeah, this is just so beautiful. And coming back to these people who talk about their drama and their story, of course, when we start releasing all this drama and story, letting it all surface with ourselves, when we go and make a speech or whatever we're going to do, we will not be so engaged in telling our story and all the drama and who did what and why did what, because we're not seeking that attention anymore, because we're giving ourselves that attention. The deepest love there is to say to your inner child, come, I will heal you, I will hold you. So that attention we were looking for from others, we don't need anymore. And of course we will come with our very beautiful soul light. And that is our true gift. It's not our story, our drama. It's the true beauty we're bringing, the true power we're bringing is really, there's nothing lying in the hands, because the light is shining out of the hands. It's your true light. There's nothing more beautiful you bring. That will shine out much, much clearer. So, and of course we will heal, our bodies will become completely well. So, this is just so beautiful. Became a long video. So, yeah, I'll finish now and just pray for God's beautiful love to fill your heart and fill your home, fill your life. May you feel his, her presence everywhere. See you.